Presentation of Sports Friday was brought to you by these proud sponsors: National City Bank, Ohio Valley Hospital, Swartz Homes Incorporated, Steelworks Community Federal Credit Union, Village Sleep Center, St. John Medical Center, Unibank, The Health Plan, Ohio Valley Mall, and Texaco Haviland. Be sure to join us every week for Sports Friday, the Ohio Valley's most comprehensive sports program.
Sports Friday!
WTOV9's Game of the Week featuring St. Clairsville and Bellaire, brought to you in part by the Health Plan, Convenient Food Mart, St. John Medical Center, Stewart's RV Center, East End Garage Barnesville, Ohio Valley Mall, Advantage Health, Kroger Food and Drug, and Swartz Homes Incorporated.
One year ago, a big, experienced, and heavily favored St. C team invaded Nelson Field to meet Bellaire, which featured 7 underclassmen in its lineup. A classic defensive battle unfolded, and a scoreless deadlock was broken when sophomore quarterback Jose Davis went in for a 6-0 Bellaire lead. There was drama in the waning moments as St. C drove inside the Bellaire 5. But on 4th down and time running out, the St. C rally was turned back. Bellaire had a cherished 6-0 victory, which served as a catapult to the school's first ever trip to the playoffs. Now the roles are reversed. A big veteran Bellaire team invades the Fairgrounds, where the underdog Red Devils await, hell-bent on revenge. The coaches, John Magistro of Bellaire and Mike Young of St. C, are 3-3 against each other. Tonight, one will gain the edge. It's a Belmont County blast-off to 1994. Bellaire, St. C, the WTOV Game of the Week, next. Hello again, everybody. George Kellis, along with coaching legend Ty Fleming here this evening. And Ty, it's been 5 years since you coached in the playoffs when you took the Shadyside Tigers to the semifinals. Ironically, it's also been 5 years since the St. Clairsville Red Devils have made it to the postseason. I know their fans have waited, I think, much too long. Bellaire, they went last year for the first time. They want to go right back.
Oh, yes, and they are poised and ready to go for it. They have returning probably one of the most skilled backfields in the Ohio Valley. But on the other hand, we got St. Clairsville coming with a four-year boy at quarterback. We got a good running backs there in Ellsworth and McKeever, and we're going to have a good football game tonight. It could be that the size of Bellaire could take its toll on St. Clairsville.
It's a cool, crisp evening. Reminds you of late September, early October to open the Ohio football season. Feels great to me. I told my wife I feel like it's Christmas Eve. We'll be back with a kickoff right after this. You just can't beat this for a Friday night at the Fairgrounds in St. C. The Bellaire Big Reds and the St. Clairsville Red Devils. And the captains at midfield right now, set for the coin toss. Going to look at this brand new press facility that we have here at the Fairgrounds. $165,000 investment for this community, and I'm going to tell you, it is a dandy. The people responsible for putting this thing together, as they always do in this community of St. C, first class all the way.
It is a beauty. I tell you what, there's several colleges around that would love to have a press box like this.
Say there's a lot of colleges that I've been to that have nothing like this.
No, this is for a high school field. This thing is phenomenal, folks.
All righty, as the two teams take the field, Bellaire in the white jerseys, black pants, and red helmets, left of your screen. And St. C will be wearing the red jerseys and the gray pants and helmets. Bellaire will kick off left to right as we get set to get underway here. Mark Mason will tee it up.
And St. C has 2 burners back, George. These 2 guys back there can literally fly in McKeever and Ellsworth. They, on the St. C track team, were 2 of the better sprinters around the valley last year. So the Bellaire boys are going to make sure they come down in their lanes and stay there. Or they could make something exciting happen real quick here for us tonight.
Mike McKeever wearing number 33 and Darrell Ellsworth wearing number 25. And apparently it's taken Mason just a second to get laced up here.
He probably has a kicking shoe on over there, and the strings always seems like when you're ready for that, especially on the opening night game, those strings have a tendency to break.
Early in the ball game, here we go with St. C receiving. What would be the important thing for them to establish right off the get-go?
Right off the get-go, what Coach Young wants to do is come out and establish his patent ground control offense. Folks are going to see some real good faking in tonight out of that backfield. They go through a long process all summer long. It's going step by step, slow motion to get down where they can deceive the defense. They're going to try to overpower him, but they're going to come out there and just try to put a deceit onto the Bellaire team and try not really to throw the ball much. But they do decide to go throw the ball, you're going to probably see it out of a play-action look. They're really not a true drop-back team. But with Marty back there, you know, he has been known to take off the ball. When he does take off the ball, being a baseball player that he is, he does have the arm strong enough to throw if he gets his body going upfield. In the past, he's had a tendency to run toward the sideline and throw to the sideline, and therefore his ball has a tendency to hit the dirt before they get to the receivers.
Now, you saw the picture there of Mike Young in his 7th year, succeeding the late, great George Strager, who was the all-time winningest coach in Ohio Valley history. And we are finally set to kick off the high school football season in Ohio. Mason, we're underway. McKeever over the head, and it'll be a touchback. 1st and 10, St. Clairsville at its own 20.
Well, he put the foot into that. That ball just kept going and going and going. Mike thought he had it measured there about the 10-yard line, just kept drifting back and crossed that goal line. The officials saw him blown it dead there and across the goal line now in a high school football game.
What a difference a week makes. Some 20 to 25 degrees cooler than what we had a week ago for the opener at John Marshall. Backs and receivers for St. C. Marty Lukey, 4th year as a starting quarterback. McKeever and Ellsworth will be the setbacks. The flanker is Matt King. Tim Starks, the split end. Jonathan Duncan, the tight end. Offensive line, Corey Hanlon, Kirk Heath, Brad Roach, Toby Stidd, and Scott Springhetti. Lukey under center, split backs behind him. And the handoff on the first play for about 4 yards. McKeever.
That has to bring a smile to Coach Young's face on that sideline. Anytime you come out there on that first down or the first play of the game with the butterflies running through everybody on the field, you pick up 5 yards right there, you're smiling.
Bellaire defensively with Dusty Holt, the senior, Jason Myers, the other tackle, Mark Mason, and Dusty Kinder. Linebackers, Richie Mamie, we'll talk more about him later. Casey Coyne and Bobby Roth. And we'll get to the secondary here momentarily. The give to the tailback. And this is Ellsworth for a first down out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. St. C on its first 2 offensive plays, able to get something going on the ground, which, as Ty Fleming said, is an absolute must. How difficult, Ty, is it to defend the Belly series and all the things that St. Clairsville does deceptively back
Extremely dangerous because you cannot practice against it. You know, you try to get your second unit in there to run St. Clairsville's offense, and there's just no way that they can give you the same picture that you're going to see out there on the field. It's going to take a quarter or so for the Bellaire linebackers to pick up all that deceitful ball handling.
1st and 10, St. C at its own 32. Lukey to pass, has a man complete. Tim Starks made the reception out over the 35 and onto the 39, make it the 38-yard line.
Great confidence builder right there in that play call by Coach Young there for Marty. You see him just a 2-step drop, turn, look the other way, and throw the ball in a quick hook out here. The old button hook pass out here to number 22. Tim Starks picked up 7 yards with it. We're looking at 2nd and 3, George.
And that's what St. Clairsville needs in this game, is a lot of 2nd down, 3, 2nd down, and 4, as opposed to 2nd down and long. Short yardage on this play. And McKeever upended immediately.
Little inside trap there by St. Clairsville. They call it their counter 1 look in there. We're looking now at 3rd and a little less than 1, George. So we're going to see now what kind of power football that St. Clairsville can come up with. In the past, they've always been an isolation team in this kind of situation, or they've come with a power off tackle, his swing 5, swing 6 look.
3rd down and a short yard. St. C at its own 41-yard line. We're in the first quarter. There is no score. George Kellis and Ty Fleming from the Fairgrounds. Full house backfield. Second man through is Ellsworth. He has a first down across the 45 and onto the 47-yard line.
St. Clairsville caught a nice break there. They went to a power I formation to the left with a tight end left and a split man to the right, we see here. We don't see the blocking in there, but that team really did a good job. They doubled down there and kick out by the 2 ISO backs, really created a nice seam for him to run through in there. As I was saying, the split end for St. C there went out there and did not line up on the line of scrimmage. They only had 6 men on the line of scrimmage, so they caught a break early.
Ellsworth ran for 800 yards as a sophomore last year. Off to a good start here tonight. St. C out of the I formation. The fake to the up back. Lukey keeps and will get across midfield to the Bellaire 48-yard line.
There's that poise of a senior in there. It's been there before under the gun. He come up there with a quick dump pass slant there to the split man, and the outside linebacker took it away from him, so Marty didn't try to force it. He pulled it down and picked up positive yardage. Right here you see it. He's looking. That linebacker took away that inside route. He just pulls it down and picks up the positive yardage.
Something we didn't see in St. Clairsville scrimmages is Marty was instructed to throw the ball. Don't run with it in the scrimmages. Now tonight, he will run with it if he's in any kind of trouble. Ellsworth cracks over the 45 and down to the 43.
Real good job in there by that St. C offensive line. They're coming off the ball and really creating a nice zone. What I'm talking there is that the offensive line is taking the defensive line and taking them back. We see right here, watch as Billy goes through in there. Excuse me, that's not Billy, that's Darryl. I'm talking about his Uncle Bill. But as he goes through in there, you really didn't see a white shirt until it was a good yard past that line of scrimmage.
Measurement as this will be very close to the first down, and you have to be impressed with the way St. C's moved the football in this opening series. They will be inches short. It'll be 3rd and a hair, I think. Maybe take a second measurement as we're shielded away from it. It's that close to a first down.
Right there, we get a good look on the screen.
We have Dave Bloomquist on the sidelines. Dave?
Now St. Clairsville moving the ball real well, and one thing you pointed out, they have 2 very good running backs in Ellsworth and McKeever. Ellsworth, I guess you could call him Mr. Outside, McKeever Mr. Inside, or vice versa, because McKeever is the fastest running back on the team, and Ellsworth can move too. So when you have 2 backs, you can run up the middle or take it outside. You have a multi-dimensional attack, and St. Clairsville's using it right now. Back up top.
Thank you, Dave. 3rd down and 1 coming up right here. Any predictions, Ty, as to what they might run on 3rd and short?
I think he's going to stay with what he's been doing. No use going away from the person who brought you the dance right here. It's going to come out in that power eye look there. And don't be surprised if he gives Marty the go-ahead to take the sneak anytime he wants it there, because in that 4 look, right there we got motion on St. Clairsville. So right now, Coach Young is dipping back to his playbook. So we go from 3rd and inches now to 3rd and 5.
Everything working so nicely for St. C up to this point, as they have run time off the clock and kept Bellaire's offense off the field, which is certainly a good idea for anybody that has to defend Bellaire this year. And there you see movement at center.
Corey just had a tendency right there that he was so anxious to make sure he got the block there that he forgot the snap count, and you saw there that caused Marty then to move and brought the Bellaire defense across the ball. So now we're going to see a different play call here, even though Coach is going to come out in that same formation look. We got a power eye to the right-hand side.
3rd down along 5. And in trouble is Lukey. He drops the ball. Are they going to call that a fumble or what? Well, they have signaled that it...
Excuse me, I got something caught there. Incomplete pass.
I'd like to...
We got to get back to the original line of scrimmage. The chain man's already moved it over there.
Well, they're saying that Lukey was, in fact, in the act of
I don't know what he's
throwing,
calling, to be honest with you.
I don't either, because
he's calling 4th down. If he's calling an incomplete pass, 4th down, and the clock is stopped as an incomplete pass, St. Clairsville has lost 10 yards on that play.
I never saw a penalty marker thrown. You just saw the play right there. St. C had a 3rd and 5. Now they got a 3rd and about 14. So I don't really understand what happened. Anyway, Bellaire on the return back out to the 30-yard line, and they'll have good position on their first offensive possession.
Bobby Timberlake fielding the punt cleanly and bringing it back about 7 yards for the Big Reds as they're starting now, George, from the 30-yard line. Some things are best left unsaid.
Well, it's virtually impossible for us to figure out what transpired there. Big Reds offensively, Jose Davis, who threw for 1,600 yards last year. Casey Coyne is the fullback. Scotty Pitts, the tailback. Timberlake is the flanker. Keith Pitts, wide receiver. And Dusty Kinder at tight end. Jason Dowling, Jason Myers, Josh Weber, Craig Vasey, and Dusty Holt up front. This is Davis. Davis on the move to the far side, a first down out to the 42-yard line.
That time Bellaire came out here, and the look we saw last week with no backs in the backfield, and he came out here with all 3 of his offensive backs split to the left with 2 tight ends. And as he dropped back to throw there, he had pressure on him, so he did what he did best. Jose pulled it down and picked up a first down. That's the thing about Jose back there. He gives you an extra running back. Well,
and they did not run him a whole lot as a sophomore, I think probably to protect him and to keep him from getting popped by bigger people. But he's put on 10 to 15 pounds, and you're looking at the St. C defense right here. But Jose is certainly capable of causing problems in many ways. That is Scotty Pitts, late hit, and Pitts only got a yard or 2, but he's going to get a whole lot more as somebody piled on.
Looked like Toby Stidd pulled him down there by the shirt. He grabbed a hold of the shirt. We'll see it right here. I believe it was number 50 grabbed onto him right there. Yes, and then slid down, pulled on the ankle, and we'll see the late hit coming in right here. The boy should have pulled up off of him or dove over top of him. Costly penalty right now for the Red Devils. They move the ball down inside their own territory to their 43, George.
Well, 2 penalties have put St. C in a situation they don't want to be in. One offensively, an illegal procedure a few minutes ago that instead of 3rd and inches, they wound up with 3rd and 5, wound up kicking the ball. Now Bellaire has the ball at the St. C 43-yard line and a first down. Casey Coyne with a big opening over the left side. He's at the 30, the 20, the 15. Driven down on the far side of the field by Matt King of St. C. And this is what makes Bellaire so dangerous.
They're just so multi-dimensional. Right there, you see the trap being pulled by the right guard. And right there, Casey hit the seam and hit to that sideline. I thought for a second there he had my chance to break it, but Matt had the angle there and pulls him down. Big Reds on the move early.
They mark the ball at the 13-yard line, and St. C wants to talk it over.
Good call, Coach.
With 6:43 to go in the first period, there is no score, and we have a timeout on the field.
One thing we have to make a decision on is, do we count that last Bellaire defensive play as a sack? We need to whether we should put that down for the Kroger Food and Drug WTOV 9 sack for a sack, with the Salvation Army receiving $50 for every sack on the night. So do we make that decision?
We'll try to make that decision during this break. 0-0 on the Schwartz home scoreboard. We'll be right back. Unofficially, Ty Fleming and I have decided to go ahead and give Bellaire's defense a sack, which means our Kroger sack for a sack for each sack registered by either team on our game of the week here. Kroger and WTOV TV will donate $50 to the Salvation Army.
Great cause, but you know we have to give them a sack because they were 3rd and 5 and they ended up there 4th and 14, so we have to count that as a sack, George.
All right, we'll be going down to Dave Bloomquist immediately after this play, as he'll have a conversation there, I think, with Marty Lukey. But meantime, Bellaire, the handoff to Pitts. Pitts gets through there somehow and crosses the 10-yard line. Dave Bloomquist, what's cooking?
Thanks, George. I'm here with St. Clairsville quarterback Marty Lukey. Marty, on the first series, you guys looked impressive running the ball. The penalty hurt you guys, but so far running the ball, you guys look like you got a solid running game going.
Yeah, we're confident. We're running the ball real well. Line's coming off, you know, as we thought they would in the preseason. In the scrimmages, they did that well. we're going to establish our running game first, and then we'll open it up a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Just from what you saw out there, you think you're going to have any problems moving the ball on the ground?
No. If they keep on coming off the ball like they have and they stay up, you know, we'll have no problem.
Okay, thanks, Marty.
Well,
Back up top.
Coyne touchdown. Casey Coyne, 9 yards with no difficulty. And the blocking of this Bellaire offensive line on that first series was picture perfect. We're going to look at it again.
You see him coming right there. We see the trap again by Josh Weber, and he's running right in there behind the big butts of Jason Myers and Craig Vasey and Jason Dowling, and he's in there without really being touched.
Well, the Reds made that look easy. Up 6-0 with 6:02 to play here in the first quarter. And on to try the extra point will be Mason. The kick is good. 6:02 to play in the first quarter. And Bellaire goes on top 7-0 on the Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
Rat and Cheese Photography, the Valley's most authoritative senior photographers, wish the best of luck to all Ohio Valley athletes during the upcoming season.
Leva's Quality Jewelry has diamonds, gold, and precious stones, and they sell them at wholesale prices. Leva's Jewelry, 318 33rd Street in Bellaire.
Well, Mike Young needs to get his troops revved back up. They trail 7-0. The thing is, they possessed the ball for about 5 minutes of this first quarter, and then after making the mistake that cost them an opportunity to possess the ball and get the first down, Bellaire in sudden quickness goes in for the touchdown, and that looked almost too easy.
Well, you know, that's just the type of explosive offense the folks are going to see all year from the Bellaire Big Red sidelines whenever they come to view this team, that they can score at any time from any place in the field and do it extremely quick, as we saw there. And what we've got to realize they're doing is they're spreading out with 3 or 4 receivers out to that sideline, and they got the backs with the quickness in there to just take off up that middle and score also. So really going to see an explosive offense this year.
Mason kicks it down the middle. McKeever again at the goal line, and Mason is really putting the foot into it. Again, it'll be a touchback, and St. C will set up shop again at its own 20-yard line. One thing that Bellaire fans want to probably keep in mind when they look at their team, this is a team that won 17 games over the past 2 seasons with a small interior line. This has been the most competitive August they've ever had. They are about 10 deep across the front, whereas the last couple of years they had very few players over 200 pounds across the front. Now all of their interior linemen are 200 plus. You look across there, you see 240, 222, 230, 215, 210. So this is a much bigger and still very athletic group.
And as you said, extremely strong, George.
Yeah, they lift a lot. And St. C goes back to work, and a nice gainer on first down. This is what they did on their first series. Ellsworth for 5 yards.
This is the thing that Mike realized, Coach Young realized in that first series there, that he can do this. We'll see right here the isolation to Ellsworth up the middle. Nice kick out block right there by McKeever for him to pick up the extra yardage there. So we're looking now at 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. But what they want to do now is make sure that they don't hurt themselves. Against a team like Bellaire, St. C tonight cannot possibly give them anything else. They must make Bellaire earn anything and take advantage of everything they can get.
2nd and 5 out of the I formation. And the handoff again to the tailback, Ellsworth. Not much running room this time. The middle of the Bellaire defense closed down quickly. In recent years, Bellaire has had a bend but don't break philosophy. And consequently, other teams have been able to possess the ball against them. I'll tell you one thing, if they can force teams into 3 downs and out and get their offense on the field a lot, it's scary what they might do on the scoreboard.
Yes, everybody that plays Bellaire better make sure that the lights all work in the scoring column. But they got some hitters in there. That Bellaire defense led inside there by Rich Mamie and Bobby Roth are just awesome football players.
And they're juniors, both of them. Lukey, here he comes. He has a first down. Marty Lukey wisely keeps and gets the first down for St. C out to the 32-yard line.
Yes, right here we see the belly pass coming here to our sideline. He had the outside man. He's looking there for his tight end, which got held up. And we got Casey Coyne in chase now, and Marty pulls it down and just struggling for that first down yardage, and he ends up getting it.
Very nice job. I think one of the things they've had trouble with the last couple of years is Marty probably was born to be more of a drop back type of a quarterback than a type of quarterback that fits into the St. C scheme. But he had the Bellaire defenders fooled on that play, and that's what is important with the St. C offense is the deception.
There's that inside trap again.
And it's McKeever this time out to the 39.
Okay, the Bellaire defense out there just looks extremely quick when you take a look at them out there, but those kids do got some nice size to them. And as we was talking in there about the Bellaire defense, one thing that, George, you want to mention here was about one of their middle linebackers.
Yes, Rich Mamie, who was as a sophomore last year, and get a load of this, he was a couple of tackles from breaking Lance Mell's single-season record as a sophomore for tackles in a Bellaire uniform. Lukey keeping and may have gotten to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yes, he was coming here with the belly option to the short side of the field there, but the Bellaire defense would have nothing to do with it. The defensive end, Mark Mason, crashed right down in there and didn't give Marty a chance to run the option.
So St. C facing, I would say, an important 3rd down and 6 right here.
Extremely important. They want to keep the ball out of the hands of the Bellaire offense.
Whoever said possession is 9/10 of the law, that's real important for St. C's offense in this game. From the eye, and we'll see. Somebody on the Bellaire front wall jumped across. We'll see if he was drawn off or if he was, in fact, offside.
St. C's clapping.
Offside against the Big Reds, so it is not a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yes, but this is one thing a veteran quarterback in there like Marty Lukey can do. He can use that hard cadence count in there and help draw people off. The Bellaire defenders are going to have to realize that they've got to have to shut their ears to his voice back there and just go on moving of the ball.
How critical is it to have a quarterback who has 2 or 3 years of experience instead of the guy that's just getting his feet wet?
Oh my, it's like night and day. I tell you, it takes an awful lot of pressure off of you on the sideline to realize that guy out there is a veteran. He knows the type of game that you're going to be calling. He knows what you expect out of him. The new guy out there doesn't know what's coming in from the sideline most of the time. Plus, you really don't know how he's going to react under pressure.
1st down, St. C.
Good quickness there by the St. C offensive line here on the left-hand side of the center there. Look, Corey Hanlon and Brad Roach and Scott Springhetti. I want to say Spighetti at first. Springhetti. They come off the ball real nice right there in the offensive backfield leading up through there for Darrell.
Ellsworth, kind of an interesting case. He's from Bellaire.
Oh, yeah, he lives right next door to several of these young guys.
And in his freshman year, they told him, if you go to St. C, you'll probably get a chance to start right away. If you go to Bellaire, you probably won't. So he decided to take a shot at it, and he's been a factor since. The option, this is Ellsworth. He's hit at midfield, falls forward into Bellaire territory. Ellsworth's having a pretty good half here against a pretty tough defense.
Yes, he is, and he met one of his neighbors right there on that play right there and delivered a nice little hello to him, and I'll see you tonight after the game up on the street. And that the Bellaire defense there coming up there to hit him with Scotty Pitts, and him and Darrell are neighbors up there in the north part of Bellaire, so they said hello there, and I'm sure they'll say hello again tonight after the ball game.
2:35 to go in the first period. Bellaire on top 7-0. St. C with 2nd down about 7. They are at the Bellaire 48-yard line.
Hey, well, look at that Bellaire defense.
Full house backfield here. Call it a wishbone if you want to. And give it to the middleman for about 3 or 4 yards. I believe that's McKeever.
Yes, it was, and as we started to say there, we noticed that the Bellaire defense also recognized that offensive formation, what they do out of it. They had 9 players there within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. Don't be surprised if Coach Young picks that up or somebody upstairs relays that down to him in that situation right there. They're going to come up with a 9-man line like that. Don't be surprised we see some play-action passing coming quick from the Red Devils.
Well, here they are, 3rd down and 3 at the Bellaire 45-yard line.
Let's here, count the bodies up here, George. Look at that.
Power eye right. And this is going to be short of the 1st down. Matt King, the ball carrier. And he is about a yard or 2 shy. A totally different look this year for St. C. The past 2 years, they had the big wide bodies up front. Guys like Rich Tile and Heath Jordan, who have gone on to play college football. This year, back to the more traditional St. Clairsville line of scrimmage play with the smaller, quicker people. They like that pulling and trapping and feel that they can get the job done with this bunch, even though it's not a very big front line.
Yes, definitely. And right now, Coach Young is in a decision-making process. We're looking at 4th and a long 3 here with 1:27 to go in the 1st quarter, and the ball on Bellaire's 44-yard line. He's called timeout to decide for sure whether he's going to kick it or go for it. But with a timeout like this and him in that huddle talking, I believe we're going to see him go for it.
Well, he's been known to roll the dice on these 4th down situations, even with the risk of turning the ball to the other side in great field position. We'll see what the decision is when we return. There you see the score on the Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard. Bellaire 7, St. C nothing. Seven nothing Bellaire. St. C with a difficult decision to make, and I'm sure Mike Young is agonizing over what to do here because it's 4th and about 2, and that ain't easy. And then he's thinking to himself, by golly, if we don't get this, we're going to turn the ball over to those guys at close to midfield. So it's a pretty tough decision. He's probably thinking to himself, I wish it was a little easier.
Well, we'll find out in a second here when they break the huddle, because Marty Lukey is the punter, so he's staying on the field, and he's going up there under center. So I think we're going to see him either go for it, or right now with the ball in that position, he could go for a long, hard count, try to draw him off sides for the 1st down, take the 5-yard penalty, and still end up with a good punting situation. No, we're looking at it.
On the 1st count, it's Ellsworth.
Don't think he made it, George.
The Bellaire fans on the far side are reacting as if it is short. We'll see where they mark the football. I don't think he got there. Big Reds fans went on a magic carpet ride last year that left them oh so close to the state quarterfinals. What a thrilling night that was, as they nearly knocked off Youngstown Ursuline in their first playoff appearance ever. And the Reds in Division III this year would love to go back. They've got just a great group of kids here, and you're going to see a lot of these kids for 2 more years. Their defense with the big play right there, and they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43 out of the I formation. This is Scotty Pitts. Pitts will get about 4 and is brought down short of midfield on the far side of the field. John Magistro in his 11th year as a head coach of the Bellaire Big Reds, and there you see Scotty Pitts. Last year ran for 1,024 yards, averaged about 5.2 yards per carry. Dave Bloomquist has Joey Galloway on the sidelines. Stay tuned. We'll have that interview coming up right after this play. We'll call it 2nd down, a little better than 5 yards to go. And this is Pitts again lunging forward. He'll be short of the 1st down. He bounced up to near the marker, but I think they'll mark him just shy. Take it away, Dave Bloomquist.
Thanks, George. I'm here with Joey Galloway, of course, the Heisman hopeful from Ohio State. And Joey, awesome debut, I guess, for the Buckeyes the other night, and of course a great game for you too.
It felt good to go out there and get a win, you know, start the season off right. We worked real hard for that victory, and we came out on top.
Saw the Heisman hoopla bother you, or do you kind of like it?
It gets bothersome at times. I don't pay attention to it. I have a job to do, and that's what I do.
What about here watching your Bellaire Big Reds? A juggernaut in the making. You probably wouldn't mind playing a couple downs for these guys, huh?
I'm a little sore from the game, so I'm happy I'm not playing a couple downs. But we look pretty good right now. Hopefully we'll win.
All right, thank you very much, Joey. Good luck, and good luck. Well, George, I guess we got the end of the quarter, so it's my job to take us to a break. Right now, Bellaire on top, 7-0. Stay tuned. Hi, everybody. I'm David Bloomquist. Let's take a look at our high school scoreboard and find out who were the winners and losers around the valley. We start with Steubenville Big Red, a big winner over Woodland Hills, 48-7. The Purple Riders all over the Edison local Wildcats, 44-28. The Red Riders blanked the Maroon Knights of Wheeling Central 7-0. Magnolia, 2 overtimes, a winner over Bridgeport, West Virginia, 21-14. Buckeye Trail all over New Albany, 41-7. John Glenn, a winner by 7, 13-6 over the Shamrocks, and Oak Glen, 19-0 over South Harrison.
We get set for the second quarter. I'm George Kellis along with Ty Fleming at the Belmont County Fairgrounds. Your scoreboard reads 7-0. Bellaire with the ball and the lead. And there you see this gorgeous evening and this beautiful new press box at the Fairgrounds.
And as we were discussing on the break there, George, we haven't seen the Bellaire really air show coming out there. We saw Jose come up here on the first down of the game there when they got the ball to go to the pass with no backs in there, and he pulled it down and ran it. Other than that, we really haven't seen Bellaire look to throw the football. We're looking at the running duo there of Casey Coyne and Scott Pitts and the strength of that offensive line out there. But it's just that threat, the fear of the ball being thrown. You know, all week long, St. C has spent an unlimited amount of time in practice working against a pass defense, and that is the one plus of a high school passing threat. You make a team prepare different than what they normally have to do.
3rd down and 1 for the Reds.
Turnabout's fair play.
It looks like Bellaire has drawn St. C. And will get a 1st down as a result. They will mark it off to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Bellaire, and the Reds leading 7-0 with a chance to really get things going their way. St. Clairsville, a team I think tailored better to get the lead on somebody with the type of offense that they run and then run time off of the clock and force you to play catch-up. They do not want to get a couple of touchdowns behind, as the big play element, perhaps not as much a part of the St. C arsenal as, say, Bellaire, which works quite a bit on the passing game.
Yes, we got a slight delay here as the scoreboard clock, as they're ready to go, is still on 0-0-0. And they're up here in the booth now attempting to get the clock fixed. There it comes up to 12 minutes. Now we're ready to play. Well, that's what happens first game of the season. Even they have to work the kinks out in the press box also, George.
7-0 Bellaire. Jose Davis, a 6', 160-pound junior, calling out the signals.
Tell you what, look at the coverage we see on their wide receivers. They're up there in a bump position with nobody behind them, so they're putting a lot of pressure on their defensive corners to tell them they're going to cover their man one-on-one. And there's that ball inside again, and it looks like it's loose.
And in fact, St. Clairsville thinks it has the football, but
one
the
official
officials
putting
say
his hand
no.
down. Let's take a good look at it here. We see Casey.
Coyne.
Inside trap. The ball's right there. It's out. Good call for the Bellaire Big Reds as they retained the ball on the 41-yard line, looking at 2nd and 8.
Well, you couldn't see the bottom of the pile there, but when Coyne whirled the second time, he was hit and the ball came out. In any event, it is 2nd down and 8.
I tell you what, Coach Blondnick here from St. C's really putting his corners on an island. Here's Jose going to try to take advantage of it going down. Picked off.
And Jose's pass is intercepted in the secondary. That is JoJo Drake, the senior and a quality veteran on this St. C Red Devil defense. JoJo Drake.
We'll take a look at it here. What they have is a flanker on that side with the tight end. That flanker ran a deep flag route. The tight end was running a 15-yard out, and Jose just overthrew him right there, and JoJo was playing the ball all the way. Dave, what do you have down there for us?
Well, George, I was talking with Jose Davis and Casey Coyne, and they said that the holes out there are unbelievable, that the offense is opening up. Both said that as long as the offense stays on the field, obviously they're going to be all right. And St. Clairsville did what they had to do right there. JoJo Drake, a big play on defense, and that's exactly what the Red Devils have to do, is keep that Bellaire offense off the field. Back up top.
St. C at its own 25-yard line. Lukey running out of the pocket to his right. Lukey chased out of bounds on the near side of the field. Will lose a yard or two. Lukey wisely making the decision there not to throw the ball into coverage.
Definitely.
Takes a 2-yard loss. That's a lot better than an INT in this situation.
Good blocking there by number 33, Mike McKibben, the fullback, to get him the outside containment. But what we don't see right now is that Bellaire secondary. They had every man in that secondary covered, plus they had 2 linebackers dropping back, taking away anything that could possibly come open. And that's the trouble. You're going to try to throw the ball against Bellaire. They see that passing game all day long, every day of the week. So they're going to be prepared for the passing game.
2nd down 11. St. C at its own 24-yard line. A short drop this time. Lukey completes it out. And it'll be a gain of about 5 yards on the play.
Number 22 out there, Tim Starks. Third and 5 now. That's the same pass we saw Marty complete there for his first pass of the game, in that he's coming up there and just making a quick look to the right side and then coming back to the 5-yard curl on the weak side there. And if he picks up 5 more yards, looking at a first down, but it's going to be tougher because that Bellaire corner now is going to know where the first down marker is and take that sure thing away from him.
3rd and 5 out of the I formation. Lukey again on a short drop. Chased out of the pocket, throws it down the near side, and it's incomplete. Ball intended for Matt King at the Bellaire 35-yard line. As St. C watched the last Bellaire scrimmage, which was against Stowe, Stowe completed a couple of these kinds of passes down the right side, deep down the right side. And St. C felt like they could exploit that against the Bellaire secondary, but have been unable to connect so far in this game, as we have 10 minutes to go in the half. Bellaire still on top 7-0, about to get the football.
Yes, but as Coach Young and his staff saw that, so did the Bellaire defense see it in the film session. Believe me, they had their ears chewed out pretty good for that happening. I don't think we're going to see that happen too often.
Lukey punts. It is blocked. And coming down on the far side, gets a little bit of a St. C bounce out across the 45. And Mark Mason may have gotten back there, all 6 feet 4 inches, 6'5", 205 in fact, to get a piece of it. On your Schwartz Home scoreboard, Bellaire 7, St. C nothing. We'll be back right after these important messages. Okay. 9:49 to go. We'll go back down to the sidelines in just a minute, where Dave Bloomquist is standing by. No gain on this play, as Scotty Pitts is wrapped up quickly by the middle of the St. C defense. All right, Dave, where are you?
Down here on the sidelines, George, and with me now is St. Clairsville senior Griff Beck. And Griff, you should be out here playing. Why don't you explain what happened to you and why you're not playing here in your senior year?
Well, late in the spring, I was playing Legion baseball, and I collided with an infielder on a shallow fly ball, and his knee went into my back and lacerated my spleen and busted up my kidney pretty good, and had to get them both removed.
Now, I know I saw you before the game, very emotional. How do you deal with not playing out here this year?
Well, it is hard. I talked to all the players in the locker room, and they're using me as an inspiration. It's kind of a dubious honor, but I'm coping with it. And God works in mysterious ways, and I think this is one of the lessons that he's trying to teach me. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm ready to find out.
Anything you want to say to your boys?
Kick some butt.
Griff back up top to Ty and George.
All right, Dusty Kinder caught the ball as Jose made his first completion of the evening. And Bellaire now looking at 3rd down and 4 at the St. C 43-yard line. Davis back, being chased out of the pocket, throws a short ball out to the near side. It is caught, and it's a first down, Bellaire. Scott Pitts coming out of the backfield, and Pitts is shaken up on the play.
I believe he took just 2 boys coming on his knee. I thought maybe the ball went up into his gut a little bit there. But one thing, as we noticed that ball was being snapped, we saw Jose back here talking to people. He has such confidence right now. He knows the defense is out there. He turned around and told his offensive back there, here comes the outside corner. Be sure you pick him up. And that's just unbelievable for a high school junior to be that aware of what's going on the field by a defense that just shows you the experience that he picked up last year and how he's worked through the spring and summer and learned what the offensive was all about.
And Scotty Pitts just showed you how he can be dangerous both as a runner and a receiver. He'll be coming out of the backfield and creating all kinds of havoc for defensive opponents because he has outstanding hands. Inside handoff. Not much running room this time.
I believe that they
Richie
took,
Mamie,
yes, I believe they took Scott out.
171-pound junior. And he backs up Scotty Pitts on his first carry, gets about a yard. Bellaire at the St. Clairsville 29-yard line.
Down here what we'd like to call 4-down territory, George. Right now, we're not worried about really what second or third down call is because we know we have that extra down to play with down in this area right there. So we're looking now at 3 downs to pick up this 9 yards, whereas down the field 20 yards, we're looking at 2. So that's the advantage, taking that ball down inside the red zone here.
2nd down and 5 out of the I formation.
Pass.
And Davis out to his right. A flag is down. Jose, nice ball into the end zone. It's a touchdown if there is not a penalty marker. David Petros caught the ball for the touchdown, but let's wait and see what the flag is all about. Holding. And I suspected that one was going to come back.
Nice job there by the offense receiver, David Petros, in that situation. He saw him scrambling back there. And knowing the strong arm, a lot of times in high school, you tell your receivers to come back to the quarterback, but knowing Jose's strength right here, watch Jose just go out there and just wait for him to realize that, hey, get going deep. He takes off right there. That ball is thrown right on the strike down in there 5 yards inside the end zone.
Well, you could always appreciate a good throwing quarterback on the high school level because you love to throw the ball with your teams. And does this kid throw a nice ball or what?
Extremely nice ball, and the thing that he has are the feet to go with it. You know, a lot of times you get a nice high school quarterback has a very strong arm, but he got them slow feet. And out of Jose, we don't have that. We have right here, folks, a kid you might be seeing playing in a major college in a couple years because of his size, his arm strength, and his feet.
Well, the mark-off came way back. And look at this. Intercepted by St. C. This is McKeever. And he is brought down at the 27-yard line.
Well played out there by Mike. He read that screen the whole way and stayed out here on the sideline in front of Scotty Pitts and picked it off. And good thing Scotty got some foot speed because Mike would have been in that end zone real quick. Folks will see it right here coming into your living room. Right there, he picks it off, loses his balance a little bit. If he doesn't lose his balance, we could have had 6 points.
And he is one of the Valley's finest sprinters, Mike McKeever. And did that look familiar or what? You saw the play last week in the Magnolia-John Marshall game, almost the same thing. And afterwards, Mike Linsky of John Marshall said, I'll never run the screen again.
But that ball was picked off last week by a lineman. This week was picked off by a back. That the lineman scored, the back didn't score. But, of course, that boy this week might be the fullback down there for Coach Caesar. All right, we're back in business, George. 1st down on the 27-yard line for the Red Devils.
St. C. Bellaire. And the give to Mamie, or rather McKeever. No, Ellsworth. 3rd time's a charm for me.
Well, I tell you what, you take a look at it right here again. That's the ISO play they've been running all night long in there. Good job by the offensive line. I tell you, old Mike McKeever in there is really earning his keep because he's leaning up through there on those play after play and really delivering some nice blocks in there for Darrell. The thing is, you know, a lot of times you're a lot like some of the defenses that play against St. Clairsville. They don't know who's carrying the football out there, George, and you're not alone in that situation.
So they get 5 more yards on 1st down, which has been good work on 1st down all night for St. C. And they get another nice chunk right there with McKeever slashing through the middle down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line.
That's the old, right here, we'll take a look at that trap in there. We saw our left guard coming right across there, and that's just the old supplement play there to that isolation, give that ball to that fullback going up there. Them linebackers are waiting for that fullback to come up here and lead a block on him. All of a sudden, he's cutting back the other way with the guard and leading up in there through for him. And that's been a very, very successful play for St. Clairsville for many, 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 many years, George.
Thank you. We thank you very much. First down and 10. St. C at the Bellaire 17-yard line. Power eye left. And Ellsworth struggling. No gain on the play. Good work there by the Bellaire defensive front.
Surprise tackle in there, number 35, Rich Mamie, along with the interior line. Rich held on to him there. Darrell did a nice job of trying to spin out of the POW, but Rich would have no part of that as he held on to his ankles.
Lance Mell has taken a close look at Rich Mamie and has been quoted as saying that if he were only about 3 or 4 inches taller, he would be without question a Division I prospect. He has all of the tangibles and intangibles to be a college football player. The only question is he tall enough? This is Ellsworth, and Ellsworth brought down on the near side of the field at the 12-yard line.
Nice job on the outside there. I believe that was number 86, Mark Mason, and Scotty Pitts out there did a good job of fighting off the blockers and cutting down that to a short play. It looked like that option first was going to develop out there. Was going to pick up big yardage. Excuse me, that wasn't Scotty Pitts. That was his twin brother, Keith Pitts.
3rd down and 6. It's a big opportunity here for the Red Devils. McKeever's interception on the screen pass has turned everything around for the time being.
With 4:20 and counting, George, this is be an awful big lift for the Red Devils going into halftime.
And they give it to McKeever. McKeever inside the 10 to the 9.
Big call right now for Coach Young, looking at 4th and a long 3, George.
Well, you were talking about 4-down territory. I don't think there's any question. They're not messing around down here. They got 2 cracks to make about 3 yards here. Oh, is it 4th down?
4th down there. Yes, their scoreboard finally changed over there. And the thing that he got to realize, George, is he's running in there against a pretty mammoth defensive line, so he's got to come up into his bag of tricks.
Well, let's put it this way, then the Devils have 1 crack to make 3 yards, and they're going to go for it. We'll see what happens when we return. There's the scoreboard, the Schwartz home scoreboard. Bellaire 7, St. Clairsville nothing, but knocking at the door. We'll be right back. 7-0 Bellaire. George Kellis along with Ty Fleming. Just a delightful way to start the 1994 Ohio high school football season.
Here we go, George. This is really the biggest play right now of the first half.
Gut check time for the St. C offense and the Bellaire defense. 4th and 3.
No, they have no part of that inside quick counter in there. He tried to hit him with a quick trap up the middle, and that ball to Mike McKeever, and the Bellaire defense was waiting on him. He's cut him down. We're looking at 1st and 10 the other way. Big play by the Bellaire defense.
Twice in this game, the Red Devils have challenged the Bellaire defense right up the middle on 4th down, and twice the Big Reds have said no way. Still 7-0. Bellaire will have the ball protecting a 7-0 lead with 3:46 to go here in the first half.
Starting off here on their own 10-yard line, they have 90 yards to go in this 3:40 in the halftime. But with their quickness, they could get in there. So right now, the St. C defense cannot let up and be pounding a little bit because they can get the ball in the end zone themselves. They got to be ready to play ball.
From the I formation, and the handoff to Pitts, who squirts through a couple of tackles and gets 3 or 4 yards on the play. You know, what separates the championship teams from everyone else is whether or not you can do 2 things. Can you run the football, and can you play defense? And in years past, Bellaire has had outstanding offensive teams, but there have been years where they've had a lot of kids had to go 2 ways and just weren't able to stop people defensively. And toward the end of last season, they found the people who were able to do that as they held Ursuline scoreless through that playoff game, and they have not been scored upon thus far in the first half tonight, and appear to have the defensive personnel to cause problems for people. Casey Coyne there on the carry, short yardage.
Quick hitter in there to Casey. Well, I believe we'll see number 65 for St. C. Corey Hanlon hanging on to him there, pulling him down from behind. So looking now, George, at 3rd and 3 for Bellaire with 2:44 to go in the half, and the ball on their own 17-yard line. Time to be a little bit careful down here, and Coach Magistro's calling. You don't want to give anything easy over to St. C and have them get the momentum going into halftime. You kind of deflate their air bubble a little bit.
3rd and 3.
Counter.
Pitts has an opening, has a first down, still on his feet. And Scotty Pitts out across the 30-yard line to the 32.
Hope we get a look at this, folks. You're going to see the old Washington Redskin counter trade coming here. Look here, coming from that backside. Look at those 2 big hogs coming there, leading the way up there for Scotty. And there's no one even around him going to put a hand on him to right there. He's 6 yards down the football field. He's just brushing away the arm tackles and picking up additional yardage.
Well, that's just a brilliant run right there. Scott Pitts is not the fastest guy in the world, but he has all of those things that you want in a running back. He's elusive. It's tough to get a good shot on him. He knows how to run in traffic and read his blockers. He's just a dandy. Single setback this time. And the short pass coming out to the near side is complete. And out across the 40-yard line, Bob Roth, the junior. And this is something that John Magistro told me we would see in this game. Some people who regularly are running backs might get some receptions. And Roth and Mamie could be pass-catching targets in this game, despite the fact that they are on the depth chart. Oh, we've got a crazy somewhere, as I understand it. Where are Kellis's crazies?
There they are right there, George. I see a Hey George sign. There comes another Hey George sign. Popular man down here, George. I think you have to stop by and hand out some money or something.
I'm a little short tonight. We don't get paid till next week. 1:50 to go here in the first half, 7-0. And Bellaire following the mark-off, 1st and 15 right here. And they give it to Coyne. Coyne ahead now for about 5-6 yards on the play. Toby Stidd made the tackle. And I can tell you this about Stidd. He's a stud.
Right there, nice run by Casey, running through some arm tackles right there before he's finally brought down. Number 36 coming in to help him clean up, and JoJo Drake.
1:28 showing, 7-0 Bellaire. There's a timeout on the field. The Schwartz Home scoreboard will be back right after this. The score, as the St. C fans are all fired up right there, managed to stay in this game. Some people wondered whether St. Clairsville could match up with this edition of the Bellaire Big Reds, and they proved in the first half that they certainly can be competitive. All righty. Saturday, September 3rd, that's tomorrow from 2:30 to 3:30 here on TV9, Off the Record with Pat Summerall. Then at 3:30, ABC College Football, Boston College at Michigan. At 7 o'clock, Ohio Valley Magazine. Then we have college football again at 8, Notre Dame at Northwestern. And the Star Trek Marathon coming up at 1 a.m. That would be Sunday morning. And we'll talk about Sunday's schedule with the NFL Live opening the season 1 o'clock. Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. Next week's game of the week, by the way, Wheeling Central at Toronto. Jose Davis back. Davis lets it go down the far sideline. Incomplete, intended for Scott Pitts.
Yes, Bellaire that time came out with a single back and ace look out there with twin receivers at that right side. And we'll take a look here at the end of the play. We see Jose dropping back, and what he's doing, he's looking at that inside receiver who made an outside move at 10 yards and then took on up the sideline, a little squirrel pattern. And ball just overthrown. We see number 83 coming into the picture there for Bellaire. Their flanker, Bobby Timbrook, who was a wide man who ran a post pattern, tried to draw the receivers to the inside. 3rd and 9, George, with 1:21 to go in the half.
St. C in the I, or rather Bellaire in the I formation, and that is Pitts. And Pitts will get to about the 36, 37-yard line.
Short with 1:09 to go, George. We'll see St. C's use a couple of their timeouts. They might not want to burn one now, save their last timeout till they receive the ball back. But Bellaire definitely is going to be in a punting situation. They're going to run as much time off the clock as they can.
Do you try to block this?
Oh, yes, you definitely have to go after this. This will be Bellaire's first punt of the season, and you never know what's going to happen in that first punt of the season. They have a new punter back there in Ben Taylor, and that long snapper taking that first snap of the season. You just hold your breath on that sideline and wait. Dave, what you got down there for us, bud?
Well, I got a question, and I know that probably makes you shake a little bit, but how would you guys rate the first half? Who would you say won? Would you say Bellaire has to be happy being up, even though they've only scored 7, or do you say St. Clairsville has to be happy that they have limited Bellaire to only 7 points? How would you rate it? Bellaire a winner, or St. Clairsville a winner, or even?
Well, you'd have to rate Bellaire a winner. They have a 7-0 lead, but I would say
you know
that
my point.
confidence. I would say that St. C probably would go in feeling good about the situation. They have been able to defend Bellaire's passing game as well as I've seen it defended in a while. And one thing, Ty, an element that is missing this year in Bellaire's offense is the constant deep threat. You remember last year with Scotty Coyne out there and some of the other people that Bellaire threw into that defensive secondary against teams, they were always a threat to be able to throw the ball downfield. Now, that is the one question mark about the Bellaire offense this year, is can they get the ball downfield to their deep people? And they haven't been able to do it here in the first half. And as a result of that, St. Clairsville has been able to keep the big play capabilities under control.
Yes, they have. And back to your question, Dave, Coach Young, if you would have told him last night that he'd go into halftime 7-0 down and has really moved the ball well against the Bellaire defense, stopped their passing game, he'd have been happy with it, because what he's done right now, he'll be able to do at halftime, is use this to build upon, to tell his kids, look, I've told you all week, you can win this ball game. You see out there what happened the first half. You know you can do it. Let's go out the second half now and get it done.
Hey, and the half's not over yet either. Taylor rather, gets the punt off, and it'll be returned here by Ellsworth. Ellsworth is hit pretty hard on the near sideline. Did a lot more lateral running than he did upfield running there.
Yes, his job right there. There was nothing to get to, so he wanted to get that ball and get out of bounds and get the clock stopped right now so it doesn't start when his comebacks into play, to give his offense 20 seconds to try to come up with a big play right now. Comes Marty onto the field with instructions from Coach Young, so we'll see right now whether Coach is going to be satisfied going in 7-0, or he's going to come out and try to open it up a little bit. I would be very surprised if he opens it up. I think he's going to be conservative and give that ball to one of his backs and hope one of them can break a long one out there right now.
20 seconds showing in the first half. 7-0 Bellaire has led since its first offensive series.
As we say that, here he comes with an ace look in the backfield. Single back, Mike McKeever of Darrell Ellsworth, split to the left in the slot.
And here comes Ellsworth in motion to the near side. Lukey back, sets up the short pass, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted at the 30-yard line. That's some dangerous stuff right there with nothing but white jerseys. In the event that ball's not caught, and there may be an escort to the end zone right here.
There, but that was an awful nice play there by Coach Young, because coming across the middle there for that ball was Mike McKeever, and he was going against the grain. If he could have caught that clean, he had a clear shot to that sideline, and we'd had some excitement going down the other sideline to see who was going to catch that young man.
Bob Roth almost made the interception for Bellaire. 17 seconds now. It's 2nd and 10. St. C at its own 31.
Looked like Dusty Holt there, number 77, was in on that play back in the linebacker spot. And he's our down tackle at 6'2", 235.
Well, he can move with the best of them at that position, believe me. Movement up front, penalty markers down.
Yeah, we saw that Coach Young wasn't going to be conservative. He was coming around right there. We had Marty dropping back into the pocket to throw the football again, so he's going to try to make a quick score here with 14 seconds to go.
Well, it's an illegal procedure against the Devils, and if I'm St. C now, with 14 seconds to go and a 2nd and 15, I got to get out of here and go figure something out for the second half. And I would think that they do feel good in that they are within striking distance. Naturally, you don't want to go in behind in any game, but you've got a chance to get right back in this with a score. Dave Bloomquist?
Well, I'm standing right here, George, and you're right. Coach Young wasn't going to give up, and King, the wide receiver, ran off the field like there were too many men on the field. He stopped over here on the sidelines, jumped back. Bellaire didn't see it at first, then they reacted, but of course the illegal procedure. So King ran off the field, came back, and he was probably going to go deep.
A little tricky stuff down there Mike Young has in the bag.
The other thing, George, you got to keep in mind out here is that number 11 for St. Clairsville, Matt King, is the backup quarterback also, so we may be able to see, a couple double passes, the ball being thrown on him, when he'll be able to uncork it nice and deep.
And in fact, he's a junior, the heir apparent to Marty Lukey. They're going to put 3 seconds back up there. 17 seconds to go in the half. Second down and 15, St. C. They trail 7-0.
Tell you, Coach Young, getting back to what Dave asked a little while ago, has done a tremendous job, because the amount of pressure on that young man's back has been tremendous. The turmoil that he went underneath last spring is something that no high school football should have to put up with in their school system.
Lukey unloads. There's no one there but a white jersey. Jose Davis. And Jose,
he got room.
Look at this. Davis at the 40 and goes down with 2 seconds to go. And there's a penalty marker down far away from where the action ceased.
Brad Roach tripped him up there, the diving tackle, where we may have had some really excitement going on, and the official was talking to the Bellaire defense. Holding call against CNC, which they will decline, and we're going to look now with 2 seconds to go in the half. He just really put this ball up there for grabs. He threw this ball down the field. Look where the ball's at, beyond any red receiver out there. And Jose back in there as a safety picked it off. Right now we'll see him. He's going to make his move across the football field, and this is where he almost came out in there wide open.
Well, look what a smart young man this guy is. Now, he sees he's finally going to be in trouble, and rather than take an unnecessary hit from somebody, he went down. They know, and he knows how important he is to his offense.
Definitely. But we saw the type of athlete he is by Coach putting him back there at that free safety in that situation, and had him lining up 25 yards deep, because they know he can cover sideline to sideline. He is really a great athlete. He's an excellent basketball player, as you saw him play last year. I saw him play a couple of baseball games this year. He has a real fine arm. Just a good all-around athlete and a good student.
2 seconds to go in the half. And Bellaire has taken the timeout to discuss exactly what they will do. Well, every time you think that this half's over and that maybe somebody ought to just run the clock out and be content with what's going on, somebody tries something. So we'll see what the Reds have in store.
I wouldn't be surprised right now to see that ball in the air. There, right there is Jose lining up in the shotgun formation. So if we don't see the ball being thrown toward the end zone for a Hail Mary type look, don't be surprised you see a quick draw or screen.
Well, they're at the 38. They might as well heave it up there.
Yes, he is. There he is, going deep. And I tell you what, this may be
overthrown.
He was open, though.
Yep. The intended receiver was Mason. That's the end of the first half. Mark Mason not quite able to catch up with the long bomb by Jose. It's halftime. On your Schwartz home scoreboard, it's Bellaire 7, St. C nothing. Back with the Battle of the Bands right after this. Introducing the Bellaire High School Marching Band for your entertainment. in favor of the Bellaire Big Reds at halftime. And we'll be back with the St. C Marching Band right after this. All right, we're ready to have a performance by the St. C Marching Band. Away they go. 7-0 Bellaire at halftime. We'll be back with the kick to open the third quarter right after these messages. Seven to nothing, Bellaire over St. Clairsville as we get set to go for the third quarter. George Kellis and Ty Fleming back at the Fairgrounds. And, well, Bellaire gets the ball to open the second half. And obviously what they want to do is reassert themselves offensively. Bellaire not accustomed to being held to 7 points by anybody in any one half.
No, that's why we said right there before the half ended that this first half really was a moral victory for St. Clairsville. Coach Young had to put that into their minds at halftime, what he's been preaching all week, that guys, we've told you all week long, you can play with this ball club, you can win this ball game. This is the half now. You got to go out and do it. You've proved to yourself you can stay with them, you can keep them off the board. You got to do it this half. Dave, what you got for us down there, bud?
Well, George, you have your Crazies, which is going to start every week. You hand out an award to your George's Crazies, the craziest fans around. I've got three guys right here who think they should be nominated for the award and who think they should win it. Guys, take it away. George Kellis, run! George Kellis, run!
Yeah, that's crazy, yeah.
Everyone! Big Red! Big Red! All right, do it again. George, what do you have to say to that? I think you guys might. One more time. George,
yeah, that's crazy. Hey, if we find some place to lock them up, make sure we find some place to throw the key out so it won't be found. I like that. Is crazy. I like that. Those guys are definite threats. Oh, wow. 7-0 Bellaire. They scored on a 9-yard run by Casey Coyne in the first period. And then the conversion made it 7-0, and that is all up to this point.
Well, ready to go. Looks like we got back there deep. Number 7 for Bellaire and Keith Pitts. Short kick there. We filled it on the 25-yard line. Got Casey Coyne, I believe, returning the ball out there to the 37-yard line.
So Bellaire will have excellent field position as we get ready to go here for their first offensive possession of the third quarter. One thing all fans who watch our games on WTOV 9 should know and understand is that the announcers are totally impartial. The television station is totally impartial, so any comments that could be construed that we're rooting for one side or the other should not be construed that way. I can tell you in all frankness that I love both of these teams. Some will ask, why are the cameras only on one side of the field? Well, that's because electronically that's the way it has to be. There are no cameras on the Bellaire side of the field for this game, as it's just impossible to stretch the cables over that far. That's the simplest explanation I can give you as to why you see more cutaways from the St. C sideline than from the Bellaire sideline. Scotty Pitts on the first carry of the second half finds running room and gets 8 or 9 yards, and that's exactly the way the Bellaire offense wanted to come out of the box here to open the second half, running the football. Again out of the I formation. Big Reds at their own 46-yard line. The give again to Pitts, and he's got room. Pitts, first down to the St. C 45-yard line.
Yes, it's very similar to what Dave was telling us at halftime and talking to people on the Bellaire sideline there. Take a look at it right here. Scotty going up the middle. Watch here. You don't see a red hand right there. A red hand got on him after he was 5 yards through the line of scrimmage. That in talking with the backs on the sideline over there for Bellaire, they felt that the holes were there and they could just keep running that ball all night long at him. So that's probably the reason we're seeing Coach Magister where you're not going up to the air with it. The offensive line just creating such holes in there for their backs to run through. No use going away from something that's working well for you.
Well, that's exactly, as they get the first down, exactly the way they operated on their first offensive series when they made it look easy. This is Pitts weaving through traffic. He's going to get another first down inside the St. Clairsville 35 to the 33-yard line.
Great job in there by the offensive line of Bellaire, the right side people, Greg Basie and Jason Marks pulling back to that counter side on that Washington Redskin trap and leading the way for him. The first man to the left guard in there, kicking out the end, and his backside tackle just going up through the hole, cleaning up anything in the way. And Pitsy just following him up through and picking up some good yardage. We're clear down inside the 35-yard line, the 34-yard line right now with first down for the Big Red.
Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Quick hitter, Coyne.
Coyne with an opening, and he'll get good yardage on first down. Little burst inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line.
Like Brad Roach got a hand on him, Aaron, tripped him up. We'll take a look at it here. Right there's the first back going up through. We just saw a hand coming across there, swiping across his ankles, taking him off, where he was into the secondary again clean.
And there's something underneath there. Second down and 4. Casey Coyne with 6 yards on the first down carry. Bellaire at the 28-yard line. Jose in trouble.
This is when
Jose
he's dangerous.
Runs out of trouble. Throwing. And it is incomplete. Off the fingertips of David Petros.
Well, I tell you what, he is so quick back there. Jose just doesn't seem to get rattled. Take a look at it here, folks. He's dropping back. Here comes the Red Devils at him. And Jose just keeps dancing and dancing. And all the time his eyes are down the field. Look at his good poise right there with his shoulders going down the field and puts the ball right on the money.
He got more moves than a belly dancer. I'll tell you what, though. The Big Reds are concerned about the deep receiving, and those are the kinds of plays occasionally someone's going to have to come up with a big play there. Yeah, here comes Pitts with a big play inside the 20, the 15, the 10, and finally steps out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Just reaching a hand out there to grab him and keep him from going to the end zone was number 10, Marty Lukin, and they're now at defensive linebacker for the Saints. Again, great job by the offensive line. Look at this right in here, George. My goodness gracious. He's not touched. He's going through there very, very clean. Right now, it's just a race to the sideline, and Mr. Lukey uses that foot speed and pulls him down.
And King came over to make sure that Pitts was out of bounds. First down. Goal to go at the 7-yard line. The give to Casey Coyne. He's inside the 5 to the 4. A gain of about 3.5 yards. And Bellaire, as they did on their very first drive of the night, with exceptional blocking, particularly run blocking. And this is an element that has lacked in some recent years from the Bellaire offense, the consistent running game. And if they can do that, then that opens up all kinds of avenues for their offense.
Spread the St. C defense out here with twins to the wide side of the field.
Here's Pitts.
He's in.
Touchdown. Scott Pitts. A 5-yard touchdown run, and Bellaire goes on top 13-0.
Take a good look here. Look again. Here comes them two big guys from the backside leading up through here. The front side just makes a seal in there, and he just takes off with his foot speed and beats everybody to the corner of the end zone. The offensive line of Bellaire has come out to the second half, George, as you've mentioned several times, and just established that they are in control of the line of scrimmage.
So it'll be Mason attempting the point after. This one is high and good. 8:16 to play in the third quarter. Bellaire has taken a 14-0 lead. On your Schwartz Home scoreboard, there you have it. We'll be back right after these messages. 14-0. Bellaire will come out to kick off, as St. C will get the ball for the first time here in the second half. But these are not the circumstances that Mike Young and company had in mind. I'm sure at halftime he probably told his defense, if you can just hold them right here on this first series of the second half, get the ball back for our guys, we can make something happen. But now Bellaire has done exactly what it wanted to do, and that's opened up some breathing room and put St. C behind the 8 ball.
Yes, they have, and Coach Magistro did exactly what his staff wanted to do at halftime. They come out and establish themselves as the dominators on the line of scrimmage, and that's where you're going to win the football games. Normally, 9 out of 10 times, whoever controls that line of scrimmage is going to win the football game, and right now, Bellaire is doing it. Back deep for St. Clairsville will be McKeever and Ellsworth.
Dan Mason will boot it away.
Another deep kick, but this one will be returned by Darrell Ellsworth from the 6. He got a
Ellsworth with a big opening. He's out across the 20 to 25, and in fact out to the 40-yard line it is.
Great blocking by the return team there of St. Clairsville. They really created a gap for him to go up through there. And great field position starting off now for Coach Young. Take a look at it right here, folks. As you see him make a move right here, you'll just see the Red Sea open up for him. Right there.
And I think this is a real big series for St. Clairsville. They need to put some points on the board to get confidence. And oh, look at this. Ellsworth limping off to the near side, and he is in obvious agony. I do not know the nature of the problem, but they are treating his calf area. This is McKeever, and McKeever with good yardage out over the 45 to the 47.
Brought down by number 30 inside linebacker Bobby Roth for the Big Red, but as you said, not till he picked up good 7 yards there. Looked like they're working down there on Darrell. Looks almost like it's a cramp weather. Got his legs up in the air there, George. What that does is just take away one of the breakaway speed threats there for St. Clairsville, but they just run another man there in the backfield. What they have done is take number 11, Matt King, and put him in the backfield now to become a third running back in there. Power I on 2nd and 3rd.
2nd down 3. And here comes Lukey. Lukey is drilled. And we'll see where they give him forward progress. No gain on the play.
Good play by the entire Bellaire defense. They didn't go for that inside belly fake at all. The outside people stayed home and kept their containment real well. Brings up now another real important call for Coach Young. This is where they've had some trouble tonight, George, in that on their third and short situations, they've had trouble picking a positive yardage up.
And this is where St. Clairsville has to establish itself offensively. If they are not going to convert on 3rd downs, they're going to be in a heap of trouble here. 3rd down and 3. Lukey back, sets, throws. It's complete for a 1st down to Tim Starks.
Nice look, taking advantage there of Marty's talent. There's a drop back pass or drop back there with a single back look right here. We'll take a look at it, folks. He has a single back out here. Nice combination route out here. We see the inside man running a curl right here in front of you. And number 22 going across the stream. Tim Starks wide open in the seam. Takes the ball clear down to the Bellaire 35-yard line.
1st and 10 St. C at the 35. And that's the kind of play that the Red Devils have to come up with in these situations. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. George Kellis and Ty Fleming from the Belmont County Fairgrounds. St. C working out of the I formation. Lukey, the pitch back. McKeever is grabbed and thrown for a loss on the play. Big defensive effort. Casey Coyne was there. And they also get Art Pyatt involved in the action.
We'll take a look at it here. Dive option, the end right there forces a quick pitch. And what that does now is allow the corner to come up there. Right there we see Casey coming up and grabbing onto the shirt. And there comes Art to clean him up. Good defense by the Big Red on that play. Lost 4 yards, looking at 2nd now and 14 for the 39-yard line. And St. C again, George, coming back out in that formation they had success with on 3rd down, a single back with 2 split people.
Lukey drops straight back, looking deep down the middle, and overthrown. Matt King, the intended receiver on the play. It was well defended, and the ball just too far to the post.
Yes, too far to the post, plus the Bellaire people is not going to give them anything deep back there. As you mentioned earlier, they got beat there in the scrimmage by Stowe on a couple of deep passes, and those DBs are not going to let anybody behind them. What Mr. Lukey out there going to do is just be patient and take what they're giving to him. They're giving him the underneath cushion area. He's just got to take it and just nickel and dime him down the field. Take that 5-7 yard pass and let your receiver try to break it for more.
4th down, or make it 3rd down and 13.
Good protection.
Lukey.
There he is in the middle.
Lukey is in trouble, and down he goes. Rich Mamie.
Came back with the pattern they had success with on that 3rd down call, and number 22 going across the middle. Tim Starks broke open but just as Marty saw him, the defense closed on him. Look at it here. Good blocking by the offensive line. He has nice room to come out to the side here. As he sees right there, he saw the receiver, just didn't have time to step and deliver the football to him. 4th down now and 13 from the 37-yard line. Again, it's decision time for Coach Young. Are you going to go ahead and go for it or try to punt him back into the hole? And the way Mr. Lukey's in the huddle talking to people, I expect him to come out and go for it.
I am impressed, Ty, with these linebackers on this Bellaire defense. You look at Mamie. Coyne has been involved in almost every defensive play on this series. Bobby Roth is always around the football. These 3 guys get after people and with a purpose.
Yes, they do. And you got 3 people there that can run. Bobby Roth might be one of the fastest young men on that football team out there. We've seen what Mr. Coyne can do when he runs the football, and you've heard us talk in the first half there about number 35, their outstanding linebacker, Rich Mamie, inside there. So you're looking at 3 outstanding people in that linebacking position, and when you're that strong as a linebacking corps across the field, you're going to cause some people trouble.
And that quick, because they're all running backs.
Yes, they are.
All right, St. C in punt formation. Lukey, under some pressure, kicks it straight up in the air. And it takes a little St. C bounce, almost hit one of the Big Reds. And finally, it is covered by the Red Devils.
At the 18-yard line, George.
Jonathan Duncan on the coverage. 1st and 10 Bellaire from its own 18-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. On the Schwartz Home scoreboard, Bellaire 14, St. C nothing.
Mark Mason that time there might have had a chance to go for that ball if he'd come at a flatter angle into the backfield there. If he had laid out with his size, he might have got a hand on that ball. He had to slow up to make sure he didn't run into the punter, but at 6'5", he can stretch his frame out there pretty good. Let's see what happens now if that St. C defense can slow down this potent offense of the Big Reds.
Pitts ahead for about 4 or 5. And Bellaire continues to impress on the ground against a fine St. Clairsville defense.
Good gang tackling there by St. Clairsville. It's what they need right now. They have not been able to really control a tackler one-on-one. They've got to get some more gang tackling in there. We saw there 3 or 4 guys, and even the strong safety, Duncan up there helping out in their tackling there. So if they can do that along the line of scrimmage, it's going to cause a little problems there for the Big Reds. It's going to force them to open the ball up more.
2nd and 7. Jose back with protection, throws it sidearm. It's incomplete. Now here comes a flag. It's a pass interference call against St. C.
Right there.
See if we can see that again, I hope.
Jose came up here to give a quick slant look right there. The receiver, the inside route was taken off of him. He just used his feet to dance away there as the receiver continued across the field and then delivered the ball. And evidently the official out there saw some contact before the ball arrived, giving them a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. We'll take a look at it here. We might not be able to see it down the field, but we can see Jose looking for him. He had him one time. There now, look at that sidearm delivery. Okay, we're looking at 1st down.
Okay, that's opening night for the officials, too.
1st down from the 37-yard line.
And
draw.
Yeah, no room. A loss of yardage on the play. Mike McKeever in on the tackle. Scott Pitts thrown for a loss, and that doesn't happen very often.
No, but right now the St. C linebackers are trying to get in through them seams there and cause some problems in the Big Red backfield. And in doing so right there, they threw a nice 3-yard loss to the Big Red. So right now we're going to look at Jose looking at 2nd and 13. And this is the time he is dangerous because Coach could open the offense up for him.
2nd and 10. Great job, by the way, by our technical people on that replay a minute ago. Jose throws off balance, has a man complete on the far side of the field. And that is about as pretty as you'll see it done to Scotty Pitts. When you see a quarterback backpedaling and feathering the ball out there as nicely as this, and what more can you ask? Watch this right here. Look at him,
he eludes the linebacker blitz. And the ball's on the money, as you said, George. Look at that. That's awful pretty. Nice hit by Lukey. Quarterback's paying back a few people for the ones he's got tonight.
Marty's a pretty physical player. And right now, the Big Reds are on the move again.
Quick hitter to Coyne.
Coyne down to the 40-yard line of St. C. Is there a ball loose under there? No. A gain on the play of about 4 or 5. Again, the replay. Just grinding it out right here.
But every time we've showed the replay on these running plays, notice how you see them backside guard and tackle going up through there. They're really pounding that St. C defense with those big people. Not only the people at the point of attack, but they're bringing the backside people, leading them up there through there too. And that time was a quick hitter to Coyne, and we're going to come back a little bit later here, and we're going to see it come back to the handoff to the tailback with Coyne leading up in there for him.
Coyne and Pitts both run very hard, and they will get you an extra yard where a lot of other running backs just can't get that extra yard. From the I formation, and now we get whistles on 2nd down and 5. Delay of game call. It'll be 2nd and 10. So much for the 5 yards they picked up. They'll mark it off, bring it back out to the 45-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 10 plus. 1:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bellaire 14, St. Clairsville nothing. George Kellis and Ty Fleming on the WTOV TV9 Game of the Week from the Fairgrounds.
Right now is when the St. C defense has got to set in and hold these people out of the end zone. They do not want to go down 3 scores to Bellaire. Their offense is just not a quick scoring offense. They're a long driving ball club, and they want to just stay within striking distance of 2 scores here with 1:34 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Davis back in trouble.
McKeever.
And McKeever back there again. And he has been some kind of a defensive player in this one. McKeever also got some help back there by Jonathan Duncan.
We'll take a look at it right there. Here comes Mike in from the blind side at him. Couldn't get him because coming straight at him up the middle was Jonathan Duncan on a strong safety blitz. So St. C is resorting to some blitzing right now to get to him, and that's our 2nd sack of the night in there.
Yep,
for the Kroger Food and Drug.
Kroger Food and Drug. For each sack recorded by either team, Kroger will donate $50 to the Salvation Army. That's our 2nd of the evening, $100 going to a charitable cause. 50 seconds and showing 3rd quarter. The shotgun. And Davis heaves near sideline. And it's caught. That's the big play type of thing that Bellaire is looking for. Bobby Timberlake, the lanky junior, made the reception inside the 10-yard line.
Let's take a look at this and see if we can see the bumping going on here. Jose just winding up and throwing it for all he got.
Oh, that's just a dandy. That is one fine play by the junior.
1st down on the 10-yard line.
Here is Pitts, flagged down. Pitts inside the 5, but there could be a hold coming here against Bellaire.
Yes, anytime you see the flag come out of that umpire's position in there, you can almost count it's going to be a holding call. The umpire is the official that lines up there on the defensive side of the ball right across from the center, and his main job is to watch for the holding from tackle to tackle. So when his flag comes out, you can almost bet it's going to be 10 yards on the offense.
So the Bellaire offensive machine, which has been so efficient here in the 3rd quarter, is slowed for the moment. The mark-off comes back. Let's see, where do they have this one? Out to the 19-yard line. So it'll be 1st down and goal to go from the 19. Split setbacks.
Draw.
And here's Pitts. Pitts slips and falls after getting some of that yardage back. He's down to about the 15.
Good job here by the offensive lineman showing pass protection, and Scotty just picking up through there. Watch, he's ready to make a move right now. He plants that foot and just loses his footing, and covered up there by the safety, Matt King.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. On the Schwartz home scoreboard, it's Bellaire 14, St. Clairsville nothing. Back with the start of the 4th right after this. A look at the St. Clairsville sideline. Bellaire leads it 14-0. And they will have a 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line. And if they manage to punch one in right here, they'll be dancing in the streets of Bellaire, because it's going to be awfully difficult for St. Clairsville, which is really not threatened in this game, to score 3 times. When you get right down to it, Ty, other than that first drive, which was very crisp for St. C, there have not been very many serious scoring threats at all by the Red Devil offense.
No, that one and the interception there by McKeever, which gave the ball down there on 25-yard line, and Bellaire held him there on 4th down. Bellaire has controlled the line of scrimmage. That's just the key tonight to the game. Here comes the blitz again, and Jose he's getting away.
Now, if he gets out of this, he's Houdini.
He's in the end zone.
Oh, look at this. Oh, my goodness, it's a touchdown.
Folks, you're looking at a big-time football player right there.
When he was an 8th grader, Ty, John Magistro told me on a telephone one time, I said, what kind of a quarterback do you have coming in the future? He said, I'm telling you. He said, I got a Major Harris coming.
Watch this young man. This is just individual talent, folks. Slips, misses a tackle.
2 people had a shot at him, still going.
Right now,
still going.
Foot race. He knows he got it made.
Well, the ever-ready bunny couldn't do it that good. The PAT by Mason. Good. 21-0 in favor of the Bellaire Big Reds. And it has been a surgical job by the Bellaire offense here in the second half. They led only 7-0 at halftime, but have added 14 and are in command at the present time, 21-0.
It is imperative now for the St. C offense to get something going, to get themselves back in the ball game. With 11:49, you know, we really don't want to count the St. C offense completely out of the ball game. But like you said, it's just going to be awful tough on them to come down and put 3 scores back on the board to get back in the game. But what they want to do is that they must, as we watch Jose here, they must do something with the ball right now on offense.
All right, here's another look from a different angle. Jose, with Kirk Heath in his face, gets away from that. And then Scott Springhetti got a paw on him, couldn't bring him down. And then he gets away from McKeever, who runs like the wind. Last guy who had a shot was Ellsworth. And that speaks volumes of the
athletic
you
ability.
You can't kiss him goodbye. Yes. 11:49 to go in the game, 21-0. And I think it's important time for St. C to get something established here, because this is a good St. Clairsville football team.
It is.
This is a team that's going to win plenty of games this year. But we all knew coming in that Bellaire was a potential juggernaut. Now, when you look down the road, they've got the fair game next week. And then they've got Dover and Indian Creek following that, due the Red Devils, followed by Martins Ferry and Brooks.
So, Cambridge, Claymont.
I mean, this schedule is loaded. They're the kind of team that with a 7-3 is going to be a playoff threat. But
yes, they are in Division 4.
They've got to get themselves together here and see what they can do. And they get the ball back at about the 31-yard line right here. Mamie made the tackle, and
yes, he did. Matt King brought it back, and they met each other with a very nice little kiss out there.
By the way, Bellaire next week, and I'll be frank about it, plays an absolute stiff. Allegheny Academy out of Pittsburgh. It's a reform school. They don't know from one week to the next who's on their roster. So that's kind of a problem. It's a little difficult to prepare for somebody like that.
An absolute stiff?
Well, they got beat last week by Frankfort, West Virginia, 34-0.
Okay.
And they play Campbell Memorial tonight. I don't even want to see that score.
No, that is a very physical ball club up there on the outskirts of Youngstown.
Right. Here's Lukey on the pass, incomplete. Pass intended for Ellsworth. Somebody just whispered in my ear. I went to school there. So
I hope he was talking about Campbell Memorial.
And not Allegheny Academy. Sounds like a private school, and in a way it is. They wear handcuffs. 11:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. They're telling me to tone it down. I'm getting out of control.
Marty Lukey right there put the ball right off of the fingertips of Darrell Ellsworth, and right now we're going to see the St. Clairsville offense really open up. Here we are back with the ace backs with twins to the left and split man to the right. Quick inside trap to Mike McKeever. No place to go, no.
Well, St. Clairsville sticking with its bread and butter, up 21-0 here.
And again, you know, we're really not calling them names out as we probably should be for that Bellaire defense, but it's just the same people over and over again in there. Dusty Holt, big number 77, Jason Myers, Bobby Roth, and Rich Mamie in there. Dusty Kinder and Mark Mason have just done an excellent job tonight. Their name hasn't been called that much because they're just doing an excellent job in closing everything down inside there. Nothing's really being run off tackle. The success that St. C's had has been going up the middle there on those quick traps, and those big guys now have moved inside, take that away.
3rd down and 8. Lukey back. Lukey hurting. Lukey really hurt.
Get a receiver.
And it's incomplete. They're going to call this intentional grounding. That's a loss of down plus the yardage. I take it that they are saying that there was no one in the area, which
number 7 and number 22 is going to argue a little bit differently.
No flag. That would have been a tough grounding call. We're going to look at the replay again. Lukey, I thought, did a brilliant job under some pretty heavy pressure right here, doing something with the ball.
But, you know, the thing, George, right there, he's got to learn, you know, really has been a drop-back passer, is that he did have room up the middle. He got to learn to step up into that pocket. And right here, we'll see the flag being thrown, but what the official doesn't see, right behind him was number 7. He tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Sir, here I am."
All right, so Lukey will punt. Nice kick this time. And it's retrieved back here and brought ahead. Let's see who the return man was. Bobby Timberlake.
Timberlake back there. Yes.
Bobby Timberlake. 10:24 to go. Bellaire 21, St. C nothing. We'll be back right after this. Bellaire leads 21-0, and I guess you can say that one of the things that has been noticeable about the Bellaire defense in shutting St. C out, we haven't called too many names back in the Bellaire secondary making any tackles tonight. They've got David Petros back there, Scotty Pitts, Keith Pitts. They use Jeremiah Johnson, Artie Pyatt, and Bob Timberlake, and there hadn't been too many instances where any of those guys have had to come up and make a tackle. It's been mostly along the line of scrimmage and with the Bellaire linebackers. So the Red Devil running backs just not able to break into the Bellaire secondary. And that's not the case here. This is Coyne. And it's a first down out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And the St. C defense might be a little bit deflated right now, Tom.
Nice trap right there by the right guard. Yes, they are deflated, but nice trap there by Jason Myers to spring Mr. Coyne loose. And right there, he's just running out for daylight, and the defensive backs are just trying to make sure that he doesn't get past them. That's the time you just grab onto something and hold on.
6 underclassmen start for this Bellaire offense. Sometimes as many as 7 underclassmen are in the lineup. No blistering speedsters, just solid football players all over the field.
Counter the other way.
This time it is Pitts, but he is hauled down quickly. And a nice defensive effort by Jonathan Duncan.
Jonathan's had his nose in there quite a bit tonight, making some nice tackles in there for the Devils. Caused him to lose 1 yard, looking at 2nd and 11 with 9:35 and counting.
Bellaire 21, St. Clairsville nothing. The Big Reds led 7-0 at the half and have added 2 scores here in the second half. 2nd down and about 11 yards to go from the eye. Little cross up there. And Coyne manages to get a couple 3. Brad Roach made the tackle for St. C.
They're just trying to give that, you know, that's that quick hitter. That's that same look that we had him bust one loose there on a second ago in there, just giving that first back the football and just letting him try to get sliver through there before we can pick him up in there. But looking now at 3rd and 11, maybe we're going to see some more athletic ability here of Jose trying to do something, folks. And you know, we don't want to build this young man up as a junior and, as I said earlier, looking possibly a Division I football player. But right now, he has the tools, and he's on schedule to really attract some people to the High Valley, take a good long look at him.
If he were 2 or 3 inches taller, he'd be a lock. I've got him listed at 6 feet. Here's Jose gunning it down the far side, but this one will be overthrown, intended for Timberlake.
And he's slow getting up there. There was good pressure put in there by number 65, Corey Hammond, and number 50, Toby Stidd. Watch here at the end of the play. We'll see the red jerseys closing in on him as he unloads the ball.
So John Magistro perfectly content to turn matters over to his defense, leading by 3 scores here. Bruce Stoltz and company in charge of the Bellaire defense. 8:17 to go. And Ben Taylor
quarterbacking.
Oh, they fake. So much for putting a defense on the field. This is a first down and a whole lot more. The fake punt, and I'm telling you what, they'll throw just about anything at you. Art Pyatt.
From Ben Taylor.
From Ben Taylor.
And Ben is a backup quarterback.
Well, very interesting. So now you've got a punter who's a weapon throwing the football.
Yes, in talking with Coach Magistro earlier, he said, you know, it's just a shame that Ben happens to be in the program at Bellaire at the time that Jose is just 1 grade ahead of him, because he said Ben is a mighty fine quarterback, so he's going to have to be patient, though, and wait till his senior year the way it looks.
First down 10.
There is that quick hitter, that
Bellaire,
fullback.
and that's probably Coyne, the ball carrier.
Again,
sure was.
Sure was. And number 56 and number 33, again, the 2 linebackers, Brad Roach and Mike McKeever, they're going to have some awful sore shoulders in the morning. Seems like their names being called every time there's a tackle out there, George.
After the Big Reds dispatch of that outfit that comes in there next week, then it gets a little bit tougher as the Edison Wildcats come to town in what ought to be a doozy. And then down the road, they're looking at some real tough hombres. Pitts is tackled for maybe a loss of a yard right there. Brad Roach, who was having a big second half here.
Yes, Brad's doing an awful fine job out there. The offensive left guard, the middle linebacker for the Devils is, you know, it's that never die spirit. Even though they're down 21-0 with 7 minutes to go in the ball game, they're out there bound. That's a good sign for the program here at St. Clairsville.
Just some of the teams, in addition to Edison, that'll be coming to Bellaire. Steubenville Catholic Central. Bellaire will play at Wheeling Central. They'll have Cambridge coming in. Lindsley later on. Newark Catholic. Martins Ferry. Pitts takes a good shot. Gets about 2 or 3 more. Look at the replay.
Look out here. He gets a nice kiss right here at the end of the play. Tell you what, this St. Clairsville Ball Club does not give up all. Nice pop, use of the shoulder pads. Good job by the Devils. Good ball pursuit. 4th and 6, George. Those chances the ball going to be in the air?
Let's say that they'll give the ball to somebody. How about let's a surprise. Give it to Pitts here. That shows you how much. That's why you were a coach. The ball's complete. The question is it?
Oh yes, first down.
First down, and it is. Timberlake, who is emerging as a reliable receiver in this game.
Yes, Bobby's a junior, 6 foot 145. Good hands. Look at that. He's putting that ball in a rope and not really using good foot position as a quarterback. He had that foot planted. Instead of stepping toward it, he stepped backwards and still put the ball in a rope out there 15 yards.
So much for my assessment earlier that they'd turn it over to their defense with the Big Reds. They'd just as soon run the clock down as far as they can, leading 21-0. Jose Davis has gone all the way at quarterback, and Casey Coyne will lose a yard.
Boy, this kid is really fired up playing football out there. For
Brad Roach. Now, you got to give that kid a ton of credit. They're down 21-0, and he's still out there playing defense like Dick Butkus.
And he's jumping up and pumping himself up, trying to pump that defense up out there. You know, that's the name of the game. When you're out there playing, that game's not over until there's 0-0-0 on the board. And that's the thing you just love to see out of high school football players, enthusiasm for the game.
It does take a special mentality to be a good middle linebacker. Mamie on one side and Roach on the other. You're looking at 2 pretty fine football players.
Yes, they are. 4:50 to go in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 11 from the 17-yard line for Bellaire Big Reds.
Jose. And not a wisely thrown ball. He's McKeever, the interception. McKeever on the move. Pitt's the only guy that can get him, and does at the 41, and we get a flag thrown in on top of it. Mike McKeever with his 2nd big interception of the night. and a personal foul tacked on.
Take a look at it here. Nice play action. The defensive man stayed home on that outside. Real good job out there by number 62 for St. Clairsville. Kirk Heath. Mike picks it off right now. It's a foot race, and Scotty Pitts has the angle at him. Mike picks him up out of the corner of the eye. He's going to try to make a cut back on him. See the angle right there being cut. And Mike's going to try to come back on the inside. Scott slowed up, brought him down. And we'll see the late hit coming. There. Take any of your three.
So St. C not content to settle to be shut out here either. 21-0 they trail, but they have opportunity now at the Bellaire 25-yard line. Lukey gives it to Ellsworth. Ellsworth lost his balance, still going inside the 20 to the 18. Darrell Ellsworth, who was banged up earlier, apparently has recovered.
Nice sprint draw action here. We see the fullback leading up to kick out for him. The guard right there kicking out, and Darrell shaking off a shoestring tackle and keeping his balance, picking up additional yardage. You know, the St. Clairsville football team out right now is just showing the personality of their coach. There's no dying Mike Young. We know Mike's a fighter, and it's been passed down to his kids. Normally, a team will always reflect the personality of the coach. And here's an example of it for the St. Clairsville fans.
2nd down and 2 at the 18. Lukey in trouble, and he is sacked. The sack by Jason Myers. Myers, who excelled last year as a junior.
Again, there's just nobody to throw to. He has time early.
And that is good for another sack. And on our sack for a sack program this year, Kroger Food and Drug. That's the 3rd sack of the evening. $150 on its way to the Salvation Army, thanks to our friends at Kroger Food and Drug. So again, it's Bellaire coming up with the play that they have to make defensively, and I can tell you this, they will get pressure on quarterbacks with this front of theirs. If you're going to stand around in the pocket, you better be able to move. That's a warning for future opponents. The blitz. Mamie wheels down Lukey, but a flag.
Yes, we had the man come in motion, and as he started in motion, the fullback made a little movement out there, which the official did not call at that point in time, because that man in motion, if he'd kept coming across the field and then stopped and reset, it would have been okay. But since he did not reset, that is 2 men in motion, which is illegal in high school football, only in Canada Pro Ball.
Mamie, the blitzing middle linebacker,
came through clean.
A sack. And ladies and gentlemen, let's send another bill to Kroger for 50 more to the Salvation Army.
Salvation Army will put it to awful good use, George. They do a fine job here in the Valley for us.
And I'll tell you another thing. Kroger is
boy.
one of the outstanding sponsors of all youth-oriented activities in this valley and all of our local communities. And there's the 3rd sack in 3 plays. Oh my goodness. They're going to run out of bags down there at Kroger.
Take a look at it right here again. He does have time. Number 10 there. Is that number 62 or 52?
That's 62. That's Jason Fish.
You see our sack for the sack, sponsored by Kroger Food and Drug and WTOV Channel 9. For each sack, Kroger will donate $50 to the Salvation Army.
And one thing about Bellaire this season, and it's a luxury that they have not had in the past, they are 10 deep in linemen that they can use on either side of the ball. They've got enough confidence that they could throw an entire second unit, offensive or defensive line out there and get the job done. That is the real strength of this football team, as if the skilled people aren't. Is that Mamie?
Yes, it is.
It sure is, showing you what he's capable of doing and will do next year after the departure of Pitts. Looking at it again here. Jose gives it off. Mamie, the nice move, breaks a tackle right there.
Here's his linebacker mentality.
He steamrolled. Oh my goodness.
There's no way he was going to try to go around anybody. He just wants to lower his shoulder and take on people. As you said, that's the mentality of a middle linebacker.
You better believe it. First down and 10, Bellaire at the St. C 27, and the clock is winding down, 1:15. And again, Mamie gets the call, works his way down inside the 25 to the 24, a gain of 3.
And Jose Davis is retired to the sideline, folks, and has been replaced by Ben Taylor, the sophomore boy.
Second down and 5. Time to select our players of the game. We'll talk about that in a second. I think for St. C, it's one of 2, but I think you'd have to say McKeever's probably the man after the 2 interceptions that put St. C in business. And
I tell you what,
strong runner-up would be Brad Roach. I'll say that.
An awful good job over there on the Bellaire sideline. We got all kind of people we could pick out there to go from. You know, the thing that we really haven't mentioned the names a whole lot, that's that offensive front line who's done the job out there. Dusty Holt, Josh Weber, Jason Dowling, Jason Myers, and Craig Vasey, and Dusty Kinder at tight end. So they have done an excellent job out there. But I think we've got to go with the man who's done a real good job on both sides of the ball tonight, George, and that is number 44, Scotty Pitts, as our Bellaire representative for the Red Donnelly Scholarship.
All right, our Red Donnelly Scholarship players of the game. Scotty Pitts, number 44 of the Bellaire Big Reds, and Mike McKeever, number 33 of the St. Clairsville Red Devils. It is over at the Fairgrounds. Bellaire has defeated St. Clairsville 21-0 in their mutual 1994 opener. You have not heard the last of either one of these teams. That is a promise.
No, we saw 2 fine football teams out there tonight, and I think what the St. Clairsville sideline now has got to do to make sure this week that they realize, hey guys, we got 9 more ball games to go. This one's over, but you've learned something. You can play football with anybody in the High Valley. That's probably going to be one of the stronger teams you face all year. On the other side, on that side of there, Mike, I tell you what, he got an awful good football team. The thing he got to make sure that he realizes.
There's John Magistro. It's the first chance we've had to get a nice look at him over there.
Yes, Johnny's been there for 11 years, done an excellent job, and got the program to the position where the pressure is on him. That's what you strive for as a coach. You want the pressure on you all the time.
Okay, we want to recap our players of the game. Our Red Donnelly Scholarship players of the game: Scotty Pitts of the Bellaire Big Reds, Mike McKeever of the St. Clairsville Red Devils. That's it from the Belmont County Fairgrounds. For Ty Fleming, this is George Kellis. We hope you enjoyed tonight's game. Your final score on the Schwartz home scoreboard: Bellaire 21, St. Clairsville 0.